Good evening and welcome back for game number 2 between the Wolves Blue and the Dayton High School Greendevils. So we're going to check in here with our champ selection and see how the Wolves Blue are faring against the Greendevils.
As we start off with the bands, Wolfe County will be starting on the red side this time.
And a quick Lucian band and a Ramus band. So.
Yeah, the Greendevils are going to start off their bands with a Ramus, Lucian, and Pike. 2 of the 3 champions played last game from Wolfe County. Major impacts from them as well. As Wolfe County band out Rek'Sai, Caitlin, and Olaf. Going back now to starting off with the first wave of picks, we have a Darius locked in for the Greendevils top laner, as Wolfe County locks in Kaisa for the ADC, and a Warwick in the jungle. So taking the Warwick back as Wolfe County's jungler did. Meanwhile, we do have a Master Yi. Oh boy, Master Yi locked in for the... Or Hubbard. No, looking like he's going to actually grab a Heimerdinger for his teammate. Seeing Heimerdinger was banned in the last game. And a Shaco for the mid lane. A lot of interesting options here. Shaco could be played support or jungle. Heimerdinger could be played ADC or mid. It's interesting here what they're doing. And Wolfe K now going with our last pick for the wave. Locking in for the mid laner as they lock in a Shen. Look like they're locking in Shen for the top lane. Now going back to the second wave of picks, starting with Wolfe County this time, who will be going with their first ban. Probably going to be banning an ADC or a support, potentially, because they're the only most obvious options available. But like I said, Shaco and Heimerdinger are sort of, you can use them in different lanes, so it's kind of hard to target ban a certain lane now. Wolfe County will instead be going with a... Looking like they're not going to get a lock-in for that next ban. They waited a little too late, and they're not going to be able to lock it in, which is fine. It's just a sort of a wasted slot, if anything. And getting a Leona ban from the Greendevils, who will be... I think 3 champions locked in that were banned in the last game from Wolfe County, who will now be going to lock in Master Yi for the last ban because of that hover that was potentially going to be coming from the Greendevils. And finishing off with Wolfe County lock in their last ban, but the Greendevils lock in their last ban here, which will be a Rise. So 4 out of the 5 champions playing the last game for Wolfe County banned by the Greendevils this game. Wolfe County now instead going with the lock in, they'll be going with Akali. Hovering, going to be locked in here for the mid lane. It looks like it isn't Akali locked in. Akali very strong right now, so... Wolfe County definitely be trying to take advantage of that. We know go back instead, also to looking like a Galio, who will be a pretty solid counter pick to Akali if they lock that in for the mid lane. Looking like it should be locked in here. It's going to be hovered for a second. They're still debating, and they're going to lock it in. So locked in Galio for the Greendevils. Could be played mid or support. Again, there's a lot of interesting stuff coming on here. And going with their last pick now, as they go with a Nunu. So it is a Nunu jungle, I believe.
Yeah, Nunu has the snowball attack that can be a headache if used properly.
Yeah. And now going with the last lock-in for Wolfe County, going with the Thresh hovered. Thresh being a very favorable champion played by Wolfe County support. And he says that he enjoys playing him a lot. He has a lot of potential to play with that champion, as he does lock in the Thresh. So... both teams have locked in their champions. It looks like it's going to be a... Okay, this is definitely an interesting team comp that they have going on here. Okay, no, that's a little more, makes a little bit sense. Starting out what looks like it's going to be, starting with the Greendevils locking in. We have top side. Looks like there might have been an error.
It's like one of their players...
one of their players did disconnect, so we did have sort of a technical issue. We're going to go ahead and switch to a screen real quick.
Yeah, we'll be back in just a minute.
Right, as we try and figure out what's...
greatest enemy.
Okay, we are back now. Sorry for the little technical issue there, but it seems that everything is good to go now. So we are going to take a look here at our starting lineup. And we do have a slightly different lineup here. In the top lane, we have senior Logan Creech, and the rest are the same as the first game. But in the bot lane, running ADC, we have senior Jeremy McKinney, and his support is senior Dylan Prophet. In the mid lane, we have senior Cameron Caskey, and in the jungle, we have senior Matt Riley. So that is your Wolves Blue lineup for the second matchup here. Now, we also want to take this time to thank our wonderful esports sponsors, including Appalachian Wireless, Mountain Telephone, Licking Valley Rural Electric, Farmers and Traders Bank of Campton, Whitaker Bank of Campton, and Sweetheart by Stephanie of Campton, Kentucky. So thanks again to all of our esports sponsors out there. Looking back here at our champ selection, we have about a 2-minute spectator delay, and then we'll be in the matchup. So, Drew, first matchup went to the Wolves. It was a tough battle. What do you think about this second matchup?
Well, definitely you can tell from the bans that the Greendevils are definitely wary of the type of plays that Wolfe County made in that last game, seeing how they banned 4 of the 5 champs that were played by Wolfe County in the last game. Also changing up their roster a little bit, playing a very interesting comp with a mid lane Shaco. Probably going to go like an assassin Shaco, maybe an AP Shaco that's still up in the air. With the ADC Heimer, or the AD Heimer, or the bot lane Heimerdinger, sorry, with a support Galio. So a lot of AP damage coming from the Greendevils this game. A lot of interesting, plays going to be, potentially made from the Greendevils here. In terms of the individual lanes, however, Darius and Shen's going to have a little bit of a rough time against Darius, specifically given his hemorrhage passive. Darius is going to have a lot of trade potential in the top lane against Shen because of the amount of just increased damage he has from consistently fighting him over and over. In the jungle, Nunu and Warwick, Nunu has a pretty solid amount of tank, a pretty solid amount of burst damage given how tanky he is. Warwick, although given a lot of burst damage, it's very it's pretty much a toss up coming in the mid or in the jungle. In the mid lane, that's something I've never seen that matchup before, Shaco and Akali. But if Shaco can be played, if this person knows how to play Shaco well enough, they'll be able to very solidly outplay Akali. But that'll have to be seen. So, because like I said, that matchup's pretty much never been, or it's a very rare matchup. That concept between Heimerdinger and Kaiser, Heimerdinger's gonna have a lot of aggravated poke down to the bot lane from his turrets. Kaiser's going to try and capitalize off of that by using her, burst damage from her Q and just her really loaded kit to try and outplay the Heimerdinger. Galio and Thresh, both very tanky supports, very, just amount of good, CC on the enemy champion. So between both team comps will be very interesting.
Okay, we're going to take a look. Actually, we're going to transition over to our matchup screen here. So we'll see you back here in just a minute after the game loads. If you're just now joining us on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button, the like button. We appreciate all your support. If you're watching this on Mountain Telephone TV, then You're watching Wolves Esports action today between the Wolfe County High School Wolves Blue and the Dayton High School Greendevils Omega. So this is a top 10 battle, and the first match did go to Wolfe County. And this second matchup, we're going to see how the teams adjust and how they come out and can face each other in round number 2. All right, so it looks like we have a Dunk Master Darius in this one. That's a special skin you can get. As we can see here, a ton of experience in League of Legends on both teams. I mean, just lots and lots of experience to go around.
It started. We're just waiting on them to load in. It's going to take a while.
Mr. Evans told me to come give insight, even though I have literally no insight to give.
It should start loading here in a second. This computer is kind of slow, but...
I don't have ice cream on my face, do I?
No, you're good.
Alright.
Alright, now we're loading in here. It's taking a while. Okay, both teams have now spawned into their respected bases. Wolfe County this time starting on the red side. So I'm going to point that out. Walls are now despawning. Both chambers are now about to move to their respected lanes. As we do see what looks like a potential invade set up from Wolfe County here. They do have the potential for it given their team comp here. They're moving very fast towards the bot lane now. Shen also following. This will be a full 5-man invade. Heimerdinger is set up though, so he is going to be having vision of them. We do have a ward dropped. Or not ward, sorry, we have a Shaco plant or trap as well as the Heimerdinger turret thrown down there trying to get some vision.
Looks like Wolfe County's backing off the invade now.
Yeah.
They were spotted and took a little damage.
Pretty solid attempt though. The entire team moving up would have been a good invade, but the fact that they had vision on this completely threw that out the window. We do see instead Darius sitting up towards the topside bush. Galio sitting towards top side as well, having vision over that river brush. Nunu on the bot side river brush moving towards his red buff. Heimerdinger and Shaco setting up traps and turrets, trying to get some vision down in that bot lane. We do see now minions have spawned, moving past the buffs. Buffs have spawned as well. We do see the leash on both of the red buffs. Looks like both sides are going to be giving red buff leashes. Wolfe County giving it to the top on the top side, and the bot side being given to Nunu. Both sides now do get their buffs. Warwick actually getting his a little faster than Nunu. Not too much of a threat though. We do see Akali trying to get a little bit of poke here on the Galio. Galio's going to be very tanky. Going to be the biggest problem for Akali for sure. You see the Q from Darius landing on the Shen there. He's going to take a little bit of damage. Shen's going to have to play pretty passive in the top side if he wants to do good against this Darius, just because of the amount of sustained auto attacks and damage that Darius can deal out. So we do see the stun and the slam landing onto Akali there, as well as the Winds of War. Galio's Q does land on Akali, doing some pretty solid damage to her already at level 2. Shen does dash, trying to taunt away the Darius. He does take a lot of damage here, but is able to pretty easily get out due to his dash. Shen does now hit level 2. Looks like he did get his taunt first, which is what he used to be able to escape that fight there from Darius. He's going to take some damage here. The Q is pulled. He's going to take some damage. The taunt onto Darius, doing a pretty solid amount of damage, but not before Darius is absolutely able to shred him with 8 of his hammered stacks, all stacking on to Shen there, giving a first blood at 3 minutes to the Greendevils. The Greendevils. Heimer and Shaco making use of that bot lane aggro. Going to try and use the turret and trap combo, to get that extra push in the bot side. Trying to see if Thresh can be able to make some really solid hooks here, maybe, to set up for some good fights from Wolfe County's bot lane. Definitely, for the most part, Wolfe County's going to be at a disadvantage for this early part of the game. About the 10-15 minute mark, we should see a little bit more of a power spike headed towards the Wolfe County side. They should get a pretty noticeable boost in a majority of their lanes. So they'll try to they should try and capitalize on that whenever they get the chance. You see the majority of the team, or majority of Wolfe County's lanes are pushed up. Shen is going to try and get the Q here onto Darius. He's going to dash with the taunt. He does have his 5 stacks of hemorrhage onto Shen from Darius there. So crazy amount of damage thrown on Shen.
Shen doesn't get away.
Yeah, Shen's very easily able to escape with the aid of his taunt dash. He's going to use the Q there to use Live to enhance his auto attack to secure that minion. Darius does get the Q off on him, healing a little bit in the process. The stun does land on Thresh from the Heimerdinger as well as the Kai'Sa too, but not be able to capitalize on that. He doesn't have a whole lot of damage at this point in the game, so he's not going to be able to do a whole lot with that stun. We see Warwick though coming up from the jungle. He is going to go over. He does fear the Darius. Shen coming in from the side, looking like he can aid. Warwick is going to take a lot of damage here. A flash taunt does land on Darius from Shen, but not before completely getting destroyed with the trade from that hemorrhage stack. So Wolfe County trying something there, but a little far out of range.
On Warwick there.
Definitely, yeah. That made it a lot rougher than it needed to be. But Shen did stay far back a little too long, and did allow for Warwick to take a little too much damage there before Shen was able to throw in some aid. So that did give Darius a double kill on his side, putting Darius at putting the score at 3-0 in favor of the Greendevils.
And he will be getting some tower stacks off of this too, and the bonus gold that comes with it.
Oh yeah, he's definitely getting at least one turret plating from it, unless Shen's able to get there a little faster.
That's what it's called.
Yeah. Shen does get there, but it looks like the turret plating did fall. Shen does dash out of range of the Q with the taunt, but does still take some damage nonetheless. For the most part, Shen is going to still have to play passive against Darius for the majority of the laning phase. His biggest pro to being played in this game will be when he comes into play with his ultimate, being able to ult in on those team fights, giving maybe some of his allies or himself some really major kills to give them the power spikes that they need. Thresh and Kai'Sa playing pretty passive in the bot lane. But you see Thresh does land the hook onto Shen. A flash from Heimer there as the lantern's thrown from Thresh onto Kai'Sa, but not up before he gets blocked. We do see Nunu does come in from the side. The flay from Thresh pulling in the Nunu into the flash hook from Thresh also landing on Heimer there, giving a kill to Warwick. Just made a really good play from Wolfe County's bot lane there. Thresh just making some great hooks, able to turn that fight around in their favor, not losing anybody in that fight and gaining 2 really major kills. So Thresh putting a lot of work in. The ult from Darius does land onto Shen. Shen does take a lot of damage from that. He does have the potential to maybe, if he could do it, land a taunt and outplay Darius, maybe secure a kill, but not looking like it's going to be able to do so, as it looks like Darius is going to go ahead back under his tower, trying to cash out on some of that gold. It looks like Wolfe County is going to try and, put some of these other side lanes up ahead as Darius, tries to push his lanes. If Darius is the only lane fed, Wolfe County won't have to worry too much if they can get their other side lanes fed, specifically, bot lane with Kai'Sa or mid lane with Akali. As it looks like Warwick, moving down towards the bot side, maybe looking for another gank here. As he does rotate in, he does get vision thrown onto him from the Dragon Pit. So you do see some vision from the Greendevils in the Dragon Pit on that Infernal Drake, which would be a really, solid spike for Wolfe County if they're able to secure that. But looking like Warwick is instead going to ward it and decide to back off, going back to rotate towards his topside jungle for some additional farm. Once he's out, Shen is level 6. He does have the potential to ult down any one of his teammates and turn a team fight in their favor if he's able to play it right. But looking like, nothing's going on at the moment, he might be looking for something else. If Thresh does throw the stun there, or the hook, it doesn't land on, it hits the Heimerdinger turret, as Darius just completely slaps Shen at the top side with that W, just chunking him for a lot of damage there after the full combo from the E pull as well as that Q. We do see some pretty consistent pressure coming in mid lane on the Galio here against Akali. Looking like that could be a pretty solid setup for a gank from Warwick, but Warwick is trying to put some pressure on the side lane. Akali's able to hold out on her own for now, but she might want to, get some assistance to try and give her a little bit of an early lead against specifically Galio because of how tanky he is and the amount of just burst that he has against, Akali. A lot of unsuspecting burst, for the most part. He's not a champion that would a lot of people, get the idea of being a bursty champion. We do see the hook does land from Thresh onto Heimerdinger. The ult as well coming in. We see pulling in the Warwick with this ult from Shen coming in on Kai'Sa now. Galio trying to come in to do some A. We do see Akali coming over. Galio forced a flash using the blast plant to get over the wall. Really good rotation there from Shen. It was a little unnecessary in terms of that team fight, but nonetheless a very, welcome thing, and an extra shield thrown onto Kai'Sa there for that guaranteed, survival in that fight, which is going to allow them instead to also get the Infernal Drink.
I don't even know what I was going to say.
Galio and now Nunu now also trying to go get some vision. They do have a vision of the majority of Wolfe County's team on that bot side who just did get that Infernal. Like I said, a very major spike on Wolfe County who were able to secure that. The taunt does land on Akali. She does flash away. She's going to barely escape here, it looks like, with just a sliver of health, using her ultimate in the process and flash, but she does escape. Barely. Good play there on Akali.
And it looks like during that last fight, I don't know if you pointed out, top tower for Wolfe County is now gone.
Yeah, they did lose that, yes, sadly. That rotation from Shen there did give them a fight and a dragon, but he did lose a tower in the process, so that is first tower claimed by the Greendevils at 10 minutes in the game. Well, more like 9 minutes. They probably caught that about a minute ago. Scores currently, 4-4 at 10 minutes in the game with a 1,000 gold lead in favor of the Greendevils with a 1 turret to nothing lead in their favor. That being the only real difference at this point. Like I said, so far, based on the score, as long as Wolfe County is able to keep the majority of pressure from Greendevils and the top lane, and only the top lane, they should be fine to keep, put some pretty dominant pressure on the rest of the lanes if they're able to avoid, having Darius come into those fights. Akali here, about to get caught. She does miss the snowball from Galio and Nunu. Nunu's going to try to get the stun off. He does get it off with the bite. Galio as well with the taunt does land with the auto attack, able to finish off the Akali just for crazy damage, forcing a Shen flash there, also in the top lane from Darius in that fight. Shen just tanking a lot of damage from Darius, just a really rough pick in this fight. Warwick is looking maybe to jump Warwick or Galio under his tower, maybe? Yeah, he's going to play passive. I don't think he'll jump it.
I don't think he would try that, especially with Nunu so close, if they even know about it.
Oh, yeah. I've definitely seen crazier stuff for sure. Oh, it looks like Warwick is rotating down a bot side, looking for a gank here, actually. Thresh does throw the hook. It does land on Heimer. He does flay him back as well. The lantern thrown out to Kai'Sa. The aftershock is going to be what secures the kill on the Heimer there for Thresh. Warwick also rotating down. We see the ultimate thrown on to... they're going to go in on the wrong Shen. Or the Shaco, sorry. A flash thrown there from Thresh. He's going to get ignited from Thresh. He's going to Shaco. He's going to live barely by the skin of his teeth with that lantern shield. So a good rotation, a good attempt, at a gank there from them. They did sadly go for the wrong one. Thresh, we do see a flash invis from Shaco there. He's going to go.
But he's not going to get away, it looks like.
He's not going to be able to get away at all. Not before getting completely bursted down by the Warwick and Kai'Sa, giving the kill to Warwick. Akali's going to try her best to dash her. She's going to get away, but not enough as the Winds of War from Galio barely clip her and able to secure a kill for Galio in the mid lane. A lot of consistent pressure coming on to Wolfe County's mid laner here because he definitely had a lot of unsuspected damage in the last game playing from Rise. So they're definitely trying to watch out for that.
And it looks like Darius has taken another tower. He's now rotating down mid.
Oh yeah, Darius coming in from the backside, looking like he might be trying to go help Galio here, or set up for Galio to try and ult onto him. Galio instead actually just deciding to run away, using his protobelt to dash away from the Warwick, who did use his ult onto Galio, which is gone now. Instead, Darius now just clearing the top side red buff from Warwick to jungle. As we do see what looks like Warwick and Akali rotating up, trying to get vision of it. It looks like Darius is going to be able to get out just in time before Warwick does come up and see that his red buff is gone. Galio also backing now in the mid lane. Nunu decided to go for his Raptors, as Warwick decides to go for his Krugs instead, then decides to back. Shen trying to push that lane back out in the top lane, trying to get as much side lane pressure as he can, not letting Darius get any more towers or any more split pushing as much, trying to deny that as much as possible. A very interesting game going on here for sure. Having Shaco and Heimerdinger bot lane duo going on. Very strong. Oh, we do see a hook landing on Heimer again from Thresh. He does get the ult out, but not before, the flash from Heimer just out of range of it. Kaiser's going in, going to try and burst down the Shaco. The trap thrown over the wall. The hook thrown just out of range of the Shaco as he's able to sidestep it, but not able to sidestep that burst from the Kaiser Q. Galio ulting down to the bot lane. Really delayed on that ulting. But they were able to manage to get an ult out from Galio, so now Akali doesn't have to worry about that. Wolfe County is going to try and, get their ADC to back off.
And they were able to get that flash from Heimerdinger.
Oh yeah, getting that flash on Heim was definitely good too. Kaiser does have vision of Galio, trying to burst her down with the hook. We do see Galio does get hit by the Thresh hook, the Flay thrown back as well. We do see the Proto Belt used on Galio with a flash. It looks like a heal from Heimerdinger as well. So 2 summoner spells burned right there from the bot lane for the Greendevils. Wolfgang, Nunu trying to do a gank there, but not going to be able to do anything with that. Warwick also rotating down. He does have vision. Darius is down on the bot side. Shen does have the potential to ult down if needed. He does have his ult up. Akali in the mid lane trying to farm that lane back. We do see Warwick, Thresh, and Kaiser all sitting in the bot side. Thresh throwing a lantern or a hook there, not going to be able to hit anything. As the entirety of the Greendevils team does go for that Drake. They're going to try and do, and they do secure the Drake. As it looks like we do have a flash from Darius. He does get it on both Thresh and Kaiser. The ulted W from Heimerdinger thrown there. Not going to be able to hit either one of them. As the entirety of the Greendevils are able to easily back off. Darius is just a very solid threat at this point. Wolfgang does need to watch out for him. They do need to shut him down and get him out of these fights. As it does, appear that he's definitely like the damage and MVP player for them at this point. Sort of a reverse of what happened last game with Wolfe County's ADC. You see Akali does dash instead. The dash and taunt from Warwick or from Galio does land on Warwick. We see Kaiser ulting over the wall, trying to get onto, onto Galio, and does secure the kill with the amount of damage. Akali dashing in as well. The ult from Akali, the Shaco clone thrown in there does fall, doing some damage with his Shaco boxes. They do lose mid lane though in the process. Darius claiming another turret. Darius being the sole person on the team for them securing those turrets. Shaco does throw down a trap box, stopping the Thresh hook from landing on anybody. Wolfgang is set up here potentially for a team fight. They're all 5 in the mid lane. Darius is mid as well. Heimer and Shaco. If Thresh is able to land a good hook, he might be able to set up for a really solid engage here for a team fight, but it looks like instead they're going to back off playing a little passive. Nunu does rush into the mid lane with his snowball, as it does run off, not hitting with anybody. Shaco also rotating up towards the top side, going to try and get himself a little bit of extra side lane push pressure, but not before noticing Darius is following up behind him. Shaco will want to back off, looking like he does have vision of Darius. He is going to decide, instead of pushing, to go ahead and, get out of range of Darius. The W from Kaiser there connecting onto Shaco right before he's able to go invisible out of the sight. We do see the Galio taunt does landing on Warwick and Thresh. The ultimate from Shen onto Thresh and Warwick does able to go through successfully. Shen able to secure the kill on Galio. Shaco getting the kill on Thresh, however. We see a trap thrown there. Kaiser trying her best to follow the Heimerdinger. She's going to throw the Q. Is going to land on the Heimerdinger trap instead of Heimer. As we do see Shen did get do a good rotation there. He was able to save Thresh as long as he could and was able to get a kill out of it. Kaiser trying her best to fight 1v1 the Nunu. Nunu does activate his Predator here. Kaiser just trying to burst down Nunu as she does ult and shred him with the Q. A lot of damage coming from Kaiser there. She has hit her late game spike now. She's just going to try and, capitalize on that, just putting herself even further of a lead. Score's currently 10-9 at 18 minutes in the game with 15 1,500 gold lead in favor of the Greendevils with a 3-0 turret lead in their favor. Again, a very close gold game. Both games so far have been very close in the gold. Last game only being, the furthest gap being about 4,000, and that was only at the very end after Baron was claimed. So, good, gold management by both teams here, able to capitalize on, farming pretty consistently as well as, getting these objectives. Greendevils, though, being a little more, focused on the objectives rather than the kills. But, Wolfe County was so far ahead in kills last game, they were just able to capitalize on that instead. Looking like Galio here pushing the top side, Shen trying to defend. He is going to go, clearing some minions. Warwick is in the top side, clearing his red buff. We do see Ocean Drake is about to spawn here in just about a minute. Thresh, Akali, and Kai'Sa all in mid lane now, trying to push that lane out. You see the hook thrown from Thresh. Again, these traps and turrets from Shaco and Heimerdinger just making it really hard for Thresh to land these hooks. Just, an extra obstacle in the way for him to try and hit them. Shen does not have ulti here for probably about another 45 seconds. So they will want to watch out for that. They won't have the, that major feature to their, advantage. Trying to use that. Oh, would you see the W does land from Kai'Sa onto Darius. Kali trying her best to fight here. The Galio, she's going to try and just poke her down as much as she can. The taunt does land. The dash also going off, but not before the taunt from Shen landing on onto Galio. We do see the over the wall from Kali. She able to dash using her second part of her ultimate and is able to get a secure kill on Galio. We do see Kai'Sa shredding the Darius under the tower, just not falling enough time, able to use that damage from that tower, as well as Kai'Sa's Q to secure a kill on the on Darius. They're shutting him down. A very major shutdown needed there from Wolfe County. They do have a really low health Shaco. If Kai'Sa is able to aim this W right, she could potentially get a snipe onto him. But looking like it's not going to be that. Warwick instead does have vision of Shaco. Shaco's going to go over the wall. Does get the trap fear off onto Warwick. They do have a lot of vision. Warwick does have his blood trail on Shen, or on Shaco at this point. He's going to try and go in, looking like he's going to try and engage there, but not before getting hit by the stun from Heimer. Nass is Nunu trying what he can with that ulti there just to try and delay the inevitable, but he does fall to Kai'Sa again. Kai'Sa just shredding at this point. Her score is currently sitting at 6-0-6. A lot of damage there from Kai'Sa. Someone who hasn't really, been popping off specifically, just, as much as Lucian was in the last game, but just putting in a lot of work there on Kai'Sa. So very good play from her. Okay, does secure this Drake now. You see Shen, trying to do what he can to suspend the top lane from being pushed. Darius does get the ult off as well with the W just for the finisher on Shen. Just a lot of damage onto Shen there from Darius. Just a crazy amount of damage. Okay, does now back in the meanwhile. Kai'Sa down his back. Thresh and Warwick as well doing the same. Kali in the mid lane trying to keep that lane pushed back. She's going to rotate up going for the Raptors, trying to get a little bit extra farm. Heimer, Shaco, and Galio all in the mid lane trying to keep that lane pushed up. Nunu also rotating up from the top side jungle, headed towards his blue buff as Darius meets them coming down from the top side. There is vision on Baron Pit from both teams, so there might be looking for potential setup on either side on trying to, get this Baron, because it could be a major shift on either side, because the game right now is definitely too close to tell with an almost dead even gold at this point. Wolfe County, getting that gold lead caught up. It almost dead even, less than 100 gold difference between the two teams. Darius does get the pull onto Kiana, or on a Kai'Sa there, not before the clone of him falling for Shaco. Thresh does get the kill on Darius with the ultimate thrown up. We do have a bit of a lag here, sorry. We have a bit of a lag spike there. Kai'Sa, meanwhile, in the process, does get the kill on Nunu. So that team fight there, 2-0 in favor of Wolfe County. The hook landing on Galio behind that. Well, it wasn't behind the trap, but a good hook landed there from Thresh. See, not having something there as an obstacle, Thresh is almost guaranteed to land a hook if he has a pretty solid straight, throw for, or line of sight for that hook to land. So a good, good hook thrown out there.
Didn't much, but it was an impressive hook.
Yeah, definitely an impressive hook. It was pretty much like the dead end of it too. He didn't have much, further for it to reach. As he does get the hook on the invisible Shaco with the attack as well. We just see an TP coming in from Darius, the shredding coming down from Kai'Sa, ulting onto Darius, just guaranteeing that kill. We just see the Q coming in as well onto Galio, just bursting them down. Kaiser looking to back potentially. Thresh going to clear some wards in that top side bush. Or the top of middle lane bush, sorry. The
This
Q
may
throw there.
be a good opportunity for them to force a Baron fight and then maybe get Baron.
Oh yeah,
after that.
absolutely. Wolfe County, the only person that they need to worry about for that, being Nunu, but Nunu's far out of range for it at the moment. Looking like Wolfe County's going to try and get a very uncontested Baron at this point. Less than half of the health remaining on the Baron. Heimer, Shaco, and Gallion moving up out of their base. Nunu moving away from it. Just go ahead and acknowledging that the Baron is already claimed by Wolfe County. All of them now backing at this point, putting their gold lead at what was stuck at around even 34k to a 4,000 gold lead in favor of Wolfe County. Nunu now moving towards topside, trying to clear some jungle camps. Going for his Gromp, we see Shaco, Galio, and Heimer also sitting towards topside. Shaco and Heimer now moving towards mid lane, trying to clear that wave, push it out. Galio on the bot, or Darius on the bot side, going for the red buff, getting himself a little bit of extra damage there. As the entirety of Wolfe County now sitting at the top side jungle, Shen pushing the top side lane out. We see the rest of Wolfe County's team pushing the mid lane. Thresh narrowly missing a hook there. Pretty solid throw from it, but missed nonetheless. We do see Thresh clearing some wards now as Warwick, Kali, and Kaiser all moving to push that lane out. The mid lane tower is sitting at very low health, and they're very easily able to clear that. We do see Shen, trying his best to push that lane back out in the top lane, having already some items now, having a pretty solid power spike as well. Shen being someone that you wouldn't expect as well to put out as much damage as he is for how tanky that he usually is built. The Thresh hook thrown there does connect onto the Heimerdinger turret. Not able to get anybody in that hook there, but nonetheless it's fine. Akali throws out her E, does not connect onto Shaco, but does land on his trap. So split pushing there from Shen, now pushing the lane in his favor. Galio trying his best to defend on the top side. We do see looks like Wolfe County might be setting up for their next Drake here as it spawns in less than a minute. Darius, Shaco, Heimer, and Nunu all moved up towards the bot side jungle now. Meanwhile, Wolfe County also being pushed up in the bot side jungle. We do see Kaiser, Thresh, and Warwick all there. Thresh did miss another hook, but that is still made up with some of the ones that he's made. We see Shen in the top side again pushing Galio out consistently. Akali trying her best to do some damage there. She does dash back out. Looking like we do see... okay, we do have a Predator here thrown off from Nunu, looking like he's looking for an engage there. Wolfe County now pushing this, wave back out, trying to get this second mid lane turret. As they wait for the mini wave to push up. Darius does get hit by the Thresh hook. He does go in with the ultimate as well. Nunu using the ultimate to flash away, but not before Thresh Ignite is able to secure the kill on Darius. The Protobelt, the Zanya's thrown in on Kaiser as she flashes as well with the heal. Shaco trying his best to do something, but not before getting completely shredded by the Kaiser Q. As Wolfe County is now going to be able to capitalize off that, pushing that mid lane, getting that second tier tower in the mid lane, looking like they're probably going to back after so. No, actually moving towards the Dragon. Ocean Drake is up. They will very much be able to capitalize off this if they're able to secure it. I believe Ocean Drake's the one that gives you healing in lane if you get the soul. Okay, yeah. I'm still a little iffy on the souls for the dragons. I know Mountain gives you a shield. Infernal gives you a burst of damage after every auto attack every few seconds or something like that. And then Ocean.
Very even trade from Galio and Shen here.
Oh yeah, definitely. Wolfe County now did secure that dragon. They don't have the soul yet. I think they still need one more. I believe. I haven't seen it. There's not a thing on here that shows that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 drakes have been claimed. Yeah, they need one more drake. We do see Shen is going to get maybe caught out here from the Galio. And, the flash from Shaco, or from Shen there. Narrowly getting out of the Galio taunt. He's going to try his best to run away here. Galio flashing the slam. His dash does land. Shaco also coming in, just guaranteeing that third kill. Shen living a lot longer than expected in that fight for sure. Throwing that QW combo out, just negating those last couple auto attacks, giving him a little bit more, time to survive. The Thresh hook over the wall, hitting the Heimerdinger. He does decide to cancel it, not going in on that, which was a good play on his part. Shaco was there as well as some traps were thrown, so if he would have, went in on that, he probably would have been in trouble. The three-man...
But good to get some poke anyway.
Yeah. The three-man taunt, or the three-man stun there landing from Heimer, also keeping them from pushing up.
And it looks like Darius is about to take a Tier 4 tower.
Tier
3 tower.
Yeah, Tier 2. It's Tier 1, Tier 2, and then Tier 3. Outer, inner, then inhibitor.
Yeah, my bad. I can't count.
It's fine. Well, yeah, Darius does get another turn in his name, though. Darius just consistently keeping the side lane pressure up. Wolfe County is definitely going to have to try and, counter push these other lanes to try and get some pressure of their own. Although they have managed to catch back up, cutting the lead from what is a 4-0 tower difference to a 5-3. Galio did ult in there, as the stun does land on Akali, as well as the... she's going to dash away with her ulti, just trying to get away a little longer. Kai'Sa trying her best to fight Darius, but Darius just crazy damage, as well as, as tanky as he is. Being a big problem for Kai'Sa. Kai'Sa's definitely not going to be able to 1v1 him at this point. She's just going to try to look for her team to keep getting peel for her to be able to burst him down while he's, CC'd by his team, by her team. Okay, trying their best to defend their second mid lane tower now, as we do see Shaco, Heimerdinger, and Galio all pushed up in the mid lane. The hook from Thresh does land on Galio. He decides to back off instead. A good call from Thresh there. Nunu also rotating up towards mid lane. Darius just consistently pushing down to the bot side now. Thresh looking to back here, as well as Shen looking like instead they're going to... they're still going to try and get their back here if they can. Kai'Sa now again trying to come down bot lane for a second time to try and fight Darius off. You see Galio, Shaco moving back in the mid lane again. Heimer has down back, moving back towards the lane. Nunu going for his Raptors as Darius moves down towards the bot side. The hook does land on Shaco from Thresh, just absolutely completely melted by the Akali and Kai'Sa combo there. Galio looking around, just going to clear some wards. Nunu going for his red side, his red buff. Shen in the top lane, pushing that back down. Galio trying to meet him up in the top side, trying to keep him from pushing. We see Kai'Sa and Akali do decide to go in. Yeah, Galio's going to look for a teleport to try and get out of there. As he does, because Wolfe County is now going to try and force a Baron here. And we do see he's going to be trying to go for their second Baron in this game. Shen also moving down, but it looks like this time the Greendevils are going to try and contest it. We do have Heimer and Nunu on the outside looking to maybe try and stop it, but not before Warwick very easily able to secure that with his smite. Now we have a back from the entirety of Wolfe County here, as we can go to back no problem. So another good Baron call from Wolfe County. Putting the goal difference again at about 4,000 with a 5-3 turret difference in favor of the Greendevils at with a score of 20-12 in favor of Wolfe County at 31 minutes. Look like they are going to be setting up for a Drake here. Drake is about to spawn. Wolfe County definitely wants to get this Drake, try and get this, this Ocean Soul will be very helpful for them with the healing that it gives them. So it looks like Shen is going to barely miss the Darius pull, as it looks like instead Thresh does get the hook off. Galio ulting onto the side there, not going to be able to get anybody caught with his ultimate. Thresh throwing the hook out and barely missing the Shaco, but it was going to be the Shaco clone that he would have been hit. Wolfe County instead looking to get set up. We just see Thresh does throw the hook. He does land it on Nunu. He does get the flay thrown as well as the ultimate. Going to catch Nunu out. Darius trying his best to burst damage. We do see Kai'Sa coming from the side. Cube shredding Akali, getting Nunu killed. Heimerdinger does secure the kill on Shen, but not before Kai'Sa is also able to use the Q to secure the double kill onto Galio. Shaco trying his best to keep them from getting this Drake. Thresh does get the hook again, thrown with the flay, forcing a flash from him over the wall. Kai'Sa coming with that follow-up. Crazy damage allowing her to get a double kill on Darius, shutting him down again. Wolfe County going to try and do whatever they can to try and capitalize off that fight, pushing as far and hard as they can. A really good engage there from Wolfe County's support. Thresh just making some really solid hooks. As well as
looks
the follow.
like now they're all going to hard push mid.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They're going to try and capitalize on this as much as they can. They're going to get that mid lane inhibitor. Maybe move up and try and get that top lane tower, maybe. But no, they're not going to have any minions to do so. They're just going to keep trying to push the mid lane. Now their entire team is up at this point. Shen does have his ultimate. He does have the ability to teleport in there on that fight.
And
but instead
it
he's
looks
just
like
going
he
to
is
use
now.
his teleport on the minion instead, saving his ultimate for whenever he needs it. And, in a potential fight. Okay, does have the Ocean Soul, though, so they are healing. You see Thresh there, healing a crazy amount. The hook there thrown from Thresh does hit Galio, getting away his Abyssal Mask. His mask is gone. Darius just shredding a Kali there. The flash from Nasus does get away. Just a lot of damage centralized there onto the Akali. Wolfe County trying their best to keep this push up. The Ocean Sulkin doing a lot of work, just giving them the heals. Kai'Sa with the Zhonya's as she's able to completely avoid the 3 damage, or the 3 people trying to damage her. She does take a little bit of tower damage there. They're trying their best. Thresh with the flash, Flay doesn't hit, but he does get the Q onto Heimerdinger, well, allowing for Kai'Sa to get the Q burst onto Heimerdinger as well. Heimerdinger throwing his ulted W, he's going to try and do some damage to throw them off there, but not before he backs off with the rest of his team. Nunu throwing a snowball, they're not going to be able to connect with anybody. Looking like Wolfe K is going to try and back, maybe push out and clear the enemy jungle's bot side jungle. Meanwhile, the rest of the the Greendevils are going to try their best to push those waves back out, trying to play really defensive here in the next few minutes, trying to get those minions back out. The Kai'Sa instead is deciding to go in on the Darius, looking like Shen is going to get caught with the pull, but not before using his taunt and flash to get away from Darius. Warwick just consistently putting that burst down on him, as well as Kai'Sa trying to use her best. Her W does connect with Darius and does secure the kill. You see Galio, Heimer, and Shaco did rotate down to try and help Darius, but not in enough time before before Darius did fall to the rest of the team. Okay, now all grouped in the bot side now, looking like Kai'Sa's going to back instead. They're going to try and get that bot side tower now, that first tower, to get that side lane pressure definitely on them. Shen trying to take as much as he can here. They're going to see if they can get it before he does take too much damage, and they do get the first turret down on the bot side. Now they're just going to keep, pushing as far as they can. The 2-man snowball hits from Nunu onto Wolfe County. Galio using his proto belt there. A little bit of extra, damage onto them, trying to clear that mini wave out, which does work. Thresh throwing the hook on Galio, does land. He does go in with the Flay and the ultimate as well. Warwick with the bite as well. Kai'Sa following up, Kai'Sa, but Kali with the burst. Shen does get it though with the taunt, so Shen does secure the kill. Kai'Sa meanwhile coming in from the side, she does ult it onto Shen, or on Shaco, bursting him down completely before he has a chance to get away. That Q just able to follow him even into his invisibility. Akali's going to take a lot of damage here. She's going to try and dash out of range of tower. She does get out of it. Wolfgang doesn't have a mini wave to push up with them yet. It is pretty close behind them. Thresh does get the hook onto Nunu. He does follow up with the Flay as well. And Shock does go off. Wolfgang's team just bursting the Nunu. He's trying to ult his best. Thresh does get the Q, which cancels the Nunu ulti. Akali dashing in from the side as well. Thresh does get the kill with, I think he has an... No, he just an auto attack to get the kill. Okay, that's fine. Kai'Sa, meanwhile, the rest of the team gone. Kai'Sa does just go up in the mid lane, just completely shredding those towers without any contesting. She's trying her best, to push out against Galio and the Heimer. She does use her Zhonya's. Shen teleporting in from the side with his ultimate. See Galio coming with the ult. He's going to get a 3-man slam on his part. Not before getting completely melted by the Warwick. Warwick does go in. The bite does land on Darius. He does use his Q to heal up a little bit, but not before Kali's able to completely shred him using her ulti as well. Onto the Shaco, who does die to the Shen, allowing for Wolfgang to end it at 37 minutes, 32 to 14.
Logan and Matt.
Okay.
Do you want to interview me?
You do something. My throat's killing me.
Okay. Alright, we will be back here in just a moment. We're waiting for our screen to load, and there is our post-game stats for the Wolves Blue versus Dayton High School Greendevils Omega, and the Wolves Blue do come out victorious in game number 2. So let's go on over here and check out our post-game player of the game interview. And if you all want to go ahead and sit down here, we actually have 2 players of the game. We have senior Logan Creech in the top lane and senior Matt Riley, who played jungle. So, guys, what were your thoughts on that matchup?
Definitely one of our harder games. I think that we actually had to put some effort in and some teamwork to get through that game compared to some of our other ones.
I feel like we really had a lot of map control, even though they had some early towers.
Yeah,
It didn't look like we had good map control, but it felt like it. So we were really confident. We did good in the team fights, and not to mention the 56,000 damage on Kaiser. That helped as well.
Yeah. I fed a little bit early. I died 6 times, but I spent the whole game split pushing and trying to draw as many of their players out as possible.
Kept Galileo out of the fight for like 7 minutes probably.
Half the game.
Take a minute and talk about your all's relationship and the friendship that you've made with your teammates this season.
We're not just friends with just during whenever we do the sport activities. We're friends outside of school and
The chemistry.
Yeah, there's a lot of times you'll see all of us on the team.
And you just know Logan's going to ant, so you have to...
Talk about the trust that you have in your team captain and each other to make decisions in the game.
The trust in the 56,000 damage Kaiser.
Yeah, Cameron is very good at the game, and if he says to do anything, if he told me to flash into their base and just run into the towers and die, I would, because that's just what he said he told me to do. That's how much we trust him.
So we are 10-2 on the season right now. Any thoughts going into the last week of the regular season?
Hopefully we can finish out with another win. Go into playoff strong.
We're going to go on as strong as possible. Going to grind it out this week and try to
bring home some trophy.
All right.
Yes,
So
some
thank you
trophy.
all. That was your players of the game, Logan Creech and Matt Riley. So we want to thank everybody for joining us on YouTube or Mountain Telephone TV. This has been Wolfe County Wolves Esports Action. So we will be back next week with Wolves Blue versus Lafayette Team B. So their second team. So tune in next Tuesday at 4, and we'll see you next time.